Week 11 of the NFL season is here, and we have some absolutely insane matchups, so let's get straight to it. We start things off with Thursday Night Football, New York Jets versus the New England Patriots. I know a game most of y'all probably don't give a fuck about and probably are thinking, why is this on Thursday night? But let me tell you something. These are two teams on the rise, winning streaks, great defense. You never know what to expect in these Thursday night division games. And all I need you guys to understand is that the New York Jets are going to win this game. The Jets are winning this game. I don't care if the Patriots are 20-point favorites, 30-point favorites. It does not matter how big of the spread it is. The Jets are winning this game. I don't give a fuck. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see massive upset on Thursday night, prime time from the Jets. Patriots are overrated. I know they're on a win streak, but does that matter? No, it does not. Look, Garrett Wilson's out for this game, and that's very difficult. The Jets run the ball extremely efficiently, and essentially that's the only thing they do good on offense is run the ball. And I know the Patriots' run defense is very strong. None of this matters. We've seen this time and time again on Thursday nights where the big underdog, the team nobody thinks is going to win, the divisional matchup, and boom, they pull off the upset. This is going to be yet another example of this. Last time I checked, the Jets have not lost a game in like 3 weeks. 2-game winning streak. And we're going to extend it to 3, 10-7, and the wild card. Guaranteed. New York Jets win. New York Jets cover the spread. Obviously, I'm not betting on this game because, I don't bet Jets games, and I don't need my heart broken twice when I lose my money and my dignity when my team loses. But trust me, I know what's going to happen in this game. I've seen the script. Jets are going to run the ball down the Patriots' throats. The play action is going to kill the Patriots, and the Patriots will not be able to score on that gigantic, beautiful Jets D. Jets win, Jets cover, guaranteed, baby, I guarantee it. Thursday night upset, it's coming. 10-7 wild card, Jets Nation, baby. Next game, we go to Spain for the first time ever. It's the last international game of the year, and we're actually going to Spain for Washington Redskins versus the Miami Dolphins. Fútbol Americano en España. Yeah, baby. Look, this is a shit game, for being honest. It's cool. It's going to be early in the morning, and it's going to be, a Spain game. I wonder how that's going to be. I think they're playing in Madrid Stadium. Oh, Real Madrid, not Madrid Stadium. But yeah, who gives a shit? Washington is banged up, injured like a motherfucker. Miami is just shit. Even though Miami is coming off a huge win. So you can't say they're horrible. But who really gives a fuck about this game, if we're being honest? Now, I would assume Miami has a slight advantage in this game. They're technically the home team. And I would assume the Spanish fans root more for Miami because of the Spanish-speaking population in Miami. But the Spanish-speaking population in Miami is predominantly like Cuban or like South American. So I'm not really sure how it connects to Spain, considering that's a European country that's not really associated with Latin America anymore. So yeah, I don't know why. I guess I understand why Miami's being sent over there, but I don't know if there'll be a significant home field advantage for Miami in a game like this. More like a neutral site game if you really want to consider it that way. I'm going to go with Miami. I'm not betting on this game. I can't pick a side here. I think Miami's the safer pick. They're obviously healthier compared to the Washington team that's completely banged up on every position, receiver, quarterback, defense. So yeah, in a game nobody really gives a shit about. It's cool that it's in España. That's very cool. But yeah, Miami wins. Miami covers. I don't know. I mean, I could see Miami losing this easily. But Washington, they're having a bad year. It's a reset year. The injuries are piling up. I'm not taking Washington for sure. I'll take Miami, win, cover. No bet for me on this one. Next game, we have the Panthers versus the Falcons. I don't get both of these teams. Panthers, it's just a sick story with them. I like them a lot. I've bet on the Panthers a lot this year. Some games they've been clutch. Some games they've been horrific, like last week. I don't know what to expect here because last time these two teams matched up, Panthers won in a pretty big blowout. It was a big one. This is a strange one because I feel like the line is a little bit undervalued. Like, I kind of want to take the Falcons simply for the fact that Falcons are 3.5-point favorites, and Falcons just have so much talent, but the Falcons just can't seem to put it together. Now, the reason why I'm not taking anything in this game is because I would take the Falcons, and I'm going to take, for the video's sake, I'll say Falcons win, Falcons cover. I'm not going to bet it for one reason and one reason only. The Falcons are returning from Germany, and I don't know how that's going to affect them. Not to mention, you saw last time how badly the Panthers beat the shit out of the Falcons. So Panthers might have the formula to beat this Falcons team. But then again, it seems like this Falcons team is beating itself every goddamn week. So I'll say Falcons win, Falcons cover. No bet for me on this one. I'm a little bit scared to take the Falcons, so I'm going to stay away from this one. And then the Panthers, they find a new ways to fuck me every time I bet on them. Even though this year they haven't been horrible. Next game, we have the Buccaneers versus the Buffalo Bills. Look, this is a weird line. Both teams are coming off a loss. Buccaneers, a little bit of a tough loss, but against a very good team. Bills coming off a horrible loss to Miami. I mean, they got smoked by Miami. However, this line indicates to me that Bills are not only going to win, but they're going to win in a blowout. I'm not confident enough to bet it because, you've seen how the Bills have performed this year. There's no fucking way I'm confident enough to lay 5.5 points on the Bills. The Bills. So yeah, I'll just say, video's sake, no bet for me on this one. Bills win, Bills cover. I do expect the Bills to win big, simply due to the fact that this spread is a little bit overinflated. You know how good the Buccaneers are, but it seems like the mid-season problems are creeping up for the Buccaneers, even though we're getting to the part of the season where right now would be when they turn up. I don't know, maybe this is the game that everything changes for the Bucs and they just go out there, slap the shit out of the Bills, and go on a huge run. But then again, you don't know. You don't know. Because Bills also kind of coming off a very tough loss. They're not dead by any means, but the division is kind of starting to slip away from them right now. They do need to lock in. And a big win versus the Buccaneers would be huge. I'm a little scared to bet on this one, but I'll say Bills win, Bills cover. No bet for me on that one. Next game, we have the Chargers versus the Jaguars. This is a classic trap game. The Jaguars are coming off a horrific loss. I mean, an absolute disgusting loss. It wasn't bad in the score sense. It was bad in the sense that they were up so big and got just smoked in the fourth quarter. Texans come back with a backup quarterback playing. Embarrassing. It's an embarrassing loss. And on the flip side, you have the Chargers, who coming off a win on primetime at home, versus a Steelers team that's, all right, I guess you could say. I think this is a classic trap game. I think everyone's going to be selling the Jags and everyone's going to be buying the Chargers, and I don't think it's the right time. While I do think the Jaguars are slightly overrated, I think in this position at home, the value is on the Jaguars. Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars +3 official play. I will be betting it. I like the Jaguars at home in a bounce back spot versus a Chargers team that I still think is not great because of the injuries and the O-line is just decimated. And without that O-line, they can't run the ball as efficiently as they'd hope. So I think a bounce back spot for the Jaguars. Jaguars will cover this game. Jaguars will win this game. But I'm taking the Jaguars +3 official play all day long. All day long. I absolutely love this bet. Love it, love it, love it. Probably not my favorite of the week, but definitely up there as one of my favorites for sure. Chargers are one of those teams. I think they're up and they're down. I think on the road, 1 o'clock game for a West Coast team traveling cross country to Jacksonville. Duval County is going to be loud. Duval County is going to know what's up. Give me the Jaguars +3 official play, but I honestly think Jaguars win this game straight up. Hopefully Jags don't choke, because when I bet on the Jags, they seem to shit their pants. Next game, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Interesting little game here. The Cardiac Bears, as they've been now known as, are an interesting team because they have been winning, but they haven't been winning convincingly. So it's tough. Vikings, 1 week they look great versus the Lions. The next week they look shit versus the Ravens. Up and down team, one of those. But the Vikings are led by J.J. McCarthy, a.k.a. 9. 9 is going to come out on Sunday and do his thing. At home, this is a fair line. I don't think this is a trap line whatsoever, with the Vikings being the 3-point favorites, 2.5, I guess, depending on what book you can get it at. I think the Bears are due for a loss, though. I think the Bears are due for a bad loss as well. Against a Vikings team that has a pretty good defense, sends good pressure, knows what it takes. You've seen the flashes from Minnesota. You have, right? That game versus the Lions. They've had other moments, even early in the season. I think it was week 1 when they beat the Bears. You've seen the flashes of potential from the Vikings when, McCarthy's in. That they can do it. They can do it. And I think in this position, at home, with the Bears team that's kind of due for a loss, considering they've been playing not great football over the last few weeks, but they've been coming up with the wins. I'll take the Vikings here. Give me the Vikings, -2.5. Official play, baby. Official play. I like the Vikings here. I really do. I think the Vikings win this game. I think the Vikings cover the spread. I think it's one of those where even though I wouldn't be shocked if the Bears do win this, I think this is a position for the Vikings to just come in there at home, slap the shit out of the Bears. Bears, they've been playing with fire, and the fire is going to burn them this week. So I got the Vikings to win, Vikings to cover. That's an official play for the Vikings cover. 9 is going to come out and ball out like he's fucking Batman. Can't believe this dude has an alter ego. It's insane to me. But whatever. I have faith in the alter ego, Mr. 9. Whatever. Well, I don't know the reason why it's called 9, but whatever. 9. So yeah, Vikings 2.5 official play. Next game we have the Packers versus the Giants. Packers coming off a tough loss. This team is just so bipolar. Sometimes they look great, sometimes they look shit. You never know what to expect with Green Bay. And the Giants coming off a horrific loss versus Chicago Bears. Now it's interesting because Giants have fired Daboll. Not only have they fired Daboll, but Jameis Winston is the starter in this game. I don't think Jackson Dart is going to be healthy, so it's Jameis Winston. You got a new quarterback, interim head coach. It could be a recipe for disaster, or it could be a recipe for success. Jameis has these moments in the season where he starts off super hot. People are like, holy shit, it's Jameis. And then he just falls off a cliff. And this is technically his first game of the year. So you would expect Jameis to go out there and ball. But most importantly, the reason I will be betting this game is because of the interim head coaching boost. This is the second time this season I could bet on it. The first time actually ended really badly with the Titans. But you got to believe the stats. And the stats say that, when the coach gets fired, the very first game after that coach gets fired, there's an interim head coaching boost, and that team covers the spread more often than not. Give me the Giants, +7. Official play, baby. I think the Giants not only cover the spread, but they can win this game straight up. Jameis Winston is going to be eating W's. He's going to be eating crab legs. You know what Jameis Winston is capable of. And I think with the interim head coaching boost, the Jameis Winston boost, that's a built-in boost in itself. He's going to be going crazy, throwing up prayers. He's a preacher. Jameis Winston is a preacher. The man is a preacher. Let's be honest here. Reincarnation of Martin Luther King. I think the Giants win this game straight up, but I'm taking the 7 all day long. You're giving me a full-ass touchdown at home versus a Packers team that you've seen struggle versus teams that they have no business struggling against. I don't know. I got to roll with the Giants. The Giants might burn me here. They really might, but I got faith in it. The stats don't lie. The stats say Jameis Winston, the interim head coach, get the boost. Giants, +7, official play. But I actually think the Giants win this game straight up. So pretty confidently taking the Giants +7 here. Official play. Next game, we have the Bengals versus the Steelers in the Icy Hot Bowl, the Unk Bowl Part 2, whatever you want to call it. Steelers this time at home. Pretty big favorites. The Bengals, it's a weird-ass team. I like the Bengals. I like Sleepy Joe Flacco. I think this team is very, very talented on offense. Defense is the killer for them. It's the consistent killer for them. And based on this line, it just feels like the Steelers are going to come out there and slap the shit out of the Bengals simply because the Steelers' defense is slightly better. And you saw in that first Thursday night game how much of an offensive shootout it became. And Steelers know that they cannot allow this game to be an offensive shootout because they will lose, right? Sleepy Joe Flacco. And even, by the way, back then, that offensive shootout, Bengals damn near lost. So it wasn't like Steelers got worked. But in reality, I think Steelers win this game. I think Steelers cover the spread. Steelers have been on a little bit of a slide. They started off really well. Now they're not looking as great. And I think that Bengals loss was actually where it all started for them, the little slide. I think this is a get-right spot for Pittsburgh. Offense is going to have a great performance naturally just because it's the Bengals defense, and the Bengals defense sucks balls. So, yeah, I got the Steelers here to win, Steelers to cover. I'm not betting this game at all. If I was to bet it, I'd bet Bengals for sure. But at 5.5, I'm not a big fan. Maybe you get the Bengals live because that offense they're going to stay in striking distance forever just because of how good their offense is. But I think Steelers make the adjustments that burnt them last time. They're going to limit Jamar Chase. They're going to allow everyone else to beat them, not named Jamar Chase. And they're going to make sure Sleepy Joe Flacco is going to be running in the pocket, is going to be, very pressured, very feeling, not the stability that he would want. So I'll say Steelers win, Steelers cover. No bet for me on this one. I don't want anything to do with this game, to be honest. It's a little bit weird, in my opinion. Next game, Houston Texans versus Tennessee Titans. Stroud is out for this one. They announced Stroud's going to be out with the concussion. But, we saw what Mills is capable of. We have, right? You saw what he did last week to the Jaguars. They were down bad, and they came back, won the game straight up. Tennessee sucks. Tennessee's coming off, I think, a bye week? I think. And if not, it's definitely a loss. But probably a loss to the bye week, too. I think this is a perfect game where it's just like the bullshit is just going to be bullshitting. That's the best way to describe it. I think Tennessee can and probably will win this game. Now, even though I do think Tennessee wins and covers, I'm not betting it. I know you guys are taking a sigh of relief. I love to bet the Tennessee Titans, and they fuck me every fucking time. And I said I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. Even though this feels like a position where it's like you got to take the Titans, you got to take them. Perfect letdown spot for the Texans. Texans are back, baby, right? They're coming off a huge comeback victory. They've been playing much better in this second half of the season, or like middle part of the season, after a really poor start. They think everything's good, shit is sweet, and then boom, they lose to the Titans on the road. I'm not going to bet it, though. Tennessee to win, Tennessee to cover. No bet for me on this one. If I can get Tennessee live in the middle of the game, maybe I'll take it. But I'm expecting a shit show as usual when it comes to these fucking weird divisional games with a team that you don't know. Like, Tennessee sucks. Houston's getting hotter. This is a perfect example of a trap game where Tennessee wins and upsets Texans. So yeah, I'm going to stay away from this one, but I'm fighting the urge to take the Titans. I really am. Next game, we have the Niners versus the Cardinals. Speaking of a trap game, Cardinals 3-point underdogs at home. Look, Cardinals got smoked by the Seahawks last week, and I mean absolutely smoked. Niners didn't do that much better. Niners also got smoked by the Rams. But the Niners in general are much better than the Cardinals, especially this season. Low spread, very low. I think they're overvaluing, or I should say, I don't know. It's a low spread. I can't tell if Niners are being undervalued or Cardinals are being overvalued. But I feel like Niners should be bigger favorites. I really do. Weird game. I'm assuming it's Jacoby Brissett. I think it is. Yeah, I think Kyler's on that IR or whatever. Kyler's playing Call of Duty. He's done. He probably played his last game for Arizona already. And Jacoby Brissett, he has his moments. Sometimes he's good. Sometimes he's shit. You never know. But you saw last week versus a pretty good Seattle team. They looked god-awful. Niners, I don't know. Offensively, they're okay. Defensively, they're just so injured that you don't know what to take here. I'm not betting this game because we all know every time I bet on the Niners, bad things happen, no matter how it goes. So I'm going to say Cardinals win, Cardinals cover, just because it's a trap game. But I'm not betting it. I'm not betting it because I'm too scared of the Niners and the bullshit that comes with betting on the Niners games. I can never get a read on this Niners team. When I think they're going to be shit, they play amazing. When I think they're going to be amazing, they play shit. So I'll take Cardinals to win, Cardinals to cover. In a weird game, trap game that I'm too scared to take just because of how bad the Niners have been doing me. Realistically, in a game like this, because I picked the Cardinals, Niners are going to win in a blowout, but I'll stay away from it, that's for sure. Next game, we have arguably one of, if not the game of the week, Seahawks versus Rams, the two top dogs in the NFC West. You guys know I've been riding the Seahawks dick all year long. From the very beginning, I've been saying it. This Seahawks team is legit, and they are a real threat to win this division. They are. Now, Rams are sitting on the top of the division looking unbelievable. Stafford playing like an MVP. This Rams offense just looks great, and the defense isn't too shabby as well. But they have not played this Seahawks team yet. I know there's a slight chance Darnold's going to be seeing ghosts, because if you remember that playoff game, Vikings versus Rams, Rams kind of worked Darnold and made him look stupid. But this is a different Darnold. This is a motivated Darnold. A Darnold that's clean slate, ready to take over the NFL. I'm telling y'all, stop sleeping on the Seahawks. They're good. Offensively, defensively, the defense is pretty good, getting better. Offense has been killing it. Good run game with a two-headed monster, Charbonnet Walker. Good receiving core that's only getting better in my opinion. Not to mention, forget about the receiving core with JSN. This is a Cooper Kupp revenge game. Cooper Kupp is going to be cooking in this game. And the most important stat that needs to be taken into account, the Seahawks are unbelievable on the road. For some reason, this Seahawks team is just ridiculously good on the road. They do not lose road games. And for that reason, you might be surprised, but probably not. Give me Seattle Seahawks. +3. Official play, baby. Seattle's winning this game straight up. I'm just taking the +3, for a little bit of wiggle room. 3 is a key number in football. Come on, man. Seattle is winning this. They're an unbelievable road team. They are legit. I keep saying it. They are legit. The Rams are good. The Rams are nice. If I'm not mistaken, the Rams are the favorites to win the fucking NFC in total right now. And maybe they will. Maybe they will. If this is a matchup in the playoffs, I'm not as confidently taking Seattle as I would here. But in a regular season game, Seattle going to win the division. They are for real, for real. And if you haven't learned it, you will learn it now. Seattle wins this game, covers the spread, official play for your boy. That +3 all day. All day. Seattle is a threat. Darnold, legacy game, incoming. Darnold's like that. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a complete shootout. Darnold and Stafford is going back and forth. That's why I say this could be one of the best games of the week. But that's TBD. Seattle wins. Seattle covers. Official play for your boy. Next, we have the Ravens versus the Browns. Absolutely staying the fuck away from this one. No idea what to expect here because Ravens are back, getting hot at the right time. Lamar's playing great. They're finding their rhythm again. Even the defense has improved after a shit start that they had. But weird little trap game because the Browns coming off a shit loss to the Jets just look horrible. And the Browns defensively is good, but offense is just a mess. Dylan Gabriel sucks. The whole Browns offense just sucks. But for some reason, the Browns have always gave the Ravens problems, especially as of late these last few years. Browns really put the Ravens to the test. So I'm not going to take anything in this game. I'll say Ravens win for sure. I'm not betting against the Ravens. I'm not picking against the Ravens, I should say. I'll say Ravens cover 2. Fuck it. I mean, I could see the Browns covering. I really could. But I think the Ravens, they're on a mission. They see how weak the AFC North is. And realistically, now, even with all the shit they went through early in the year, they're fully back, ready to make a run. I think Ravens win in a statement game, win this, cover the spread, blow Cleveland out the water. Cleveland, they're trying to lose at this point, trying to secure themselves a good pick. And they're going to have a lot of good picks. They have a bunch of assets they traded when they traded their pick to the Jaguars during the draft. So Cleveland's in tank mode. They want a good pick. Now, especially with a loss to the Jets, they're going to help them in tiebreakers and stuff. Cleveland has no reason to win this game. I mean, maybe they want to play spoiler, but it's too early in the year to play spoiler. Maybe at the end of the season they could. So yeah, I'll take Ravens win, Ravens cover, staying super far away from this game, not confident in this one whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some bullshit or some fishy shit going on in this game. Next game, we have the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. Love this matchup. Absolutely love this matchup. We all remember last year, this game, I think this exact game when it was in Denver. The Chiefs at that point, I think, were undefeated, getting away with the bullshit they were getting away with all last season. While Broncos, at that point, people didn't really know how good the Broncos were, but they were really starting to find their own and become the Broncos we know that they are now. And that was the game where they had that blocked field goal. Broncos were supposed to walk it off. They completely outplayed the Chiefs and then lose because of a blocked field goal. This time around, it's a little different. Chiefs started the season very poorly. They are coming off a loss, even though it was a bye week. So the loss was 2 weeks ago to a Bills team that's, pretty good. Now they're coming off a bye. While the Broncos just have been, I don't know. This is not a good Broncos team. I'll live, breathe, and die by that. Their record does not reflect how they've been playing. If you just look at their record, you think they're unbelievable, unstoppable force. And defensively, they are that unbelievable, unstoppable force. However, realistically, offensively, they have been piss poor. Piss poor. Bo Dix has been playing like a little squirt, making bad throws, making bad reads. Broncos have been lucky to win some of the games they've been winning. And it's not against good teams. That's the thing. It's like the games versus Raiders last week, Giants, Jets. I feel like I say this all the time. It's like those games were losses. Those should have been losses for the Broncos. And I know that's not how it works, right? You win a game or you win a game. Doesn't matter how. But this is fraudulent behavior here. I don't want to sit here and say the Broncos are full frauds, but they're on fraudulent territory with the way they've been playing. Now they're playing a Chiefs team that's super hungry and understand the magnitude of this matchup. If Chiefs lose this, Broncos are probably winning the division because it's going to be too big of a gap for the Chiefs to close. Chiefs win this, they're right back in it. And I got to roll with the Chiefs, baby. Give me the Chiefs to win the game and cover the spread as an official play, baby. Chiefs -3.5 official play. I like it a lot. I think Kansas City blows the fuck out of Denver in this one. Denver's been getting away with bullshit, and it's going to come back to bite them in the ass versus a Chiefs team that knows what it takes, right? They've been there, done that year in, year out. They know how important these type of games are, and this is a statement game where the Chiefs go into Denver and blow them out. Chiefs are not going to blow a lead. Chiefs are not going to take their foot off the gas like some of these other teams have versus the Broncos, and the Broncos are not going to get lucky versus the Chiefs because it's the Chiefs. I think Chiefs blow the Broncos out, completely blow them out. This is supposed to be an interesting game, and I don't think it will be at all. I'd rather have the Chiefs at -3, but the line's 3.5, and I'm confident enough to take the Chiefs -3.5 as an official play. I think the Chiefs just murder them. It's going to be a murder. You're going to have to arrest Andy Reid for the manslaughter he's about to commit on the Broncos. Broncos on fraudulent territory, playing a very good Chiefs team. I don't care what the Chiefs' record is. It's the Chiefs. Chiefs win. Chiefs cover. That Chiefs spread is an official play for your boy. Next game, we have Sunday Night Football. Absolutely unbelievable Sunday night matchup. Detroit Lions versus the Philadelphia Eagles. I feel like it's been a while since we had a banger Sunday night or a Sunday night of this level. Two unbelievable teams here. Two of the best in the NFC. The Eagles are defending champs. Lions. The Lions. It's the Lions. We all know what they are capable of. I'm scared for this game because Eagles are favorites, slight favorites, and I get why. They're at home. But do they really deserve to be favorites? Even last week's game where they won, I'll give them credit. They looked like shit. They did. Versus a Packers team that's up and down. We'll put it like that. I don't know. Eagles burn me every fucking week. They really do. But I gotta do it again. I know I said I'm not gonna do it, but I gotta do it again. Give me the Lions. Lions +2.5. Sorry, official play. I would take the Lions money line. I think the Lions win this game straight up, but I'm taking the Lions +2.5 because I could see some absolute nonsense getting pulled off here. I think it's gonna be back and forth. And the reality is that look, the Eagles' defense is very, very good, and I am concerned about how the Lions match up with that defense, but we all know the weapons that the Lions have. They'll find a way. Offensively speaking, I don't think the Eagles' offense will be able to keep up with the Lions' offense. Lions' secondary is banged up, and even then, I don't think Jalen Hurts, his bum ass, is going to be able to throw on them versus a banged up secondary. And Lions, by the way, offensively are going to smoke the Eagles secondary. That's the thing. If Eagles shut down the run, cool, I can see it happening. But secondary-wise, Lions murder them. Jameson Williams and shit. Amon-Ra, Laporta, even, using Gibbs as a pass catcher. I think the Lions win this game straight up. I don't want to say Eagles are fraudulent because you guys know how it's going to age for me every time I talk about the Eagles like this. But I think this is a game where the Lions go into Detroit and win this game straight up. Give me the Lions +2.5 as an official play. I think Eagles are worse than the Lions, and I think the Lions light them up in a high-scoring matchup that Eagles will not be able to keep up with. That's the key. Jalen Hurts is a bum, and he's a shit quarterback who can't throw the ball, and because of that, they will not be able to match the offensive output that the Lions will put out because you know how badly the Lions are going to run up the score and make a statement here. Lions, cover the spread, win the game. I'm taking the 2.5 as an official play. Next game, final game, Monday Night Football. Cowboys versus Raiders. Why the fuck is this a Monday Night Football game? Why the fuck are the Cowboys on Monday night again? They were just on Monday night. And then the Raiders as well. Like, shit-ass Raiders team. Shit-ass Monday night. Look, I'm not betting this game. I'll start off right off the bat with that one. Because Cowboys on the road are a shit team, so you can't bet Cowboys on the road. And you guys know how much I fuck with the Raiders, and I want to see the Raiders cover and win this game. But I don't have enough faith in the Raiders. No idea what to expect here, especially with the Cowboys. Quinnen Williams might make a big difference for the Cowboys, and that is something to take into consideration, considering Raiders want to run the ball with Ashton Genty. So it might be difficult with Quinnen, Big Q in the middle. I'm not going to... you know what? For the video, I'll take it. I'll say Raiders win, Raiders cover. Let's go Raiders, baby. But in reality, I have no read on this game whatsoever. Like, no read whatsoever. I think the Cowboys can win. I think the Cowboys can cover. I think the Cowboys can win in a blowout. On the flip side, I think the Raiders can win. I think the Raiders can cover. I think the Raiders can win in a blowout. I don't know what to pick for this game, so I'll just say Raiders win, Raiders cover, because I fuck with the Raiders. That's the reality. But I can never get a read on the Alice Cowboys because their D sucks, but maybe it's going to be better because of the trades they made. No idea. No idea. This game is a shit show for Monday night. Absolute war crime that it's even on Monday night. So I'll make my Raiders win, Raiders cover pick, but I'm staying the fuck away from this IRL. Those are my predictions. Oh my God. Did you guys hear that fucking voice crack? Holy shit. I'm not editing that out. I'm going to keep this in. Those are my predictions for Week 11. I got a lot of official plays. And I got burnt last week, and this is the week we come back, baby. I'm going to win everything. I'm going to come back. It's going to be the greatest comeback of all time. I'm super cold right now, but this is the week I get hot. Lock it in, baby. Lock it in. Stay tuned for college football predictions coming soon.